the area that I live in.
Who do we got here? Oh,
Well, let's bring Al on. I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, Al, tell Al about it.
Yeah.
Raging Al Iaquinta.
Oh yeah.
Yes!
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
I'm chilling, man.
Just
I'm chill. I'm glad we made this work out.
oh, me too.
yeah.
I switched people
Good.
around the whole nine.
oh yeah, we did
You're the
we did
best.
quite
My-
the shuffle to make sure we got Al Iaquinta.
I think it's important. It's essential.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Who else do we got on there?
Well, welcome to Menace and the Man, Al. You got my Stan the Man here. We're joined with Eric Uresk and Dennis the Menace Bermudez.
What's up, fellas? What's
What's
going
happening?
on?
We're just hanging out.
And
Hell
now
yeah.
we got one of the top lightweights in the world, Raging Al Iaquinta, joining us.
Love it.
Catching him before training. He's got the fight with Kevin Lee coming up.
Big fight, big day, big training session with Longo coming up. I'm just heading to the gym right now. Yeah, man, it's exciting stuff. It's my first 5-round fight that I get to prepare for. So,
Right.
the last one I kind of just wung it,
Right.
but I think for this fight the 5 rounds is definitely going to be in my favor. I think the longer it goes, the better it'll be for me.
You get a little thank you cash for that for taking on the Russian? Khabib?
I got a little bit. I got a little thank you cash, a little bit. Not like the old days from what I hear, but I'm not,
Well, you heard it first from Weidman. He would get a lot of thank you cash.
Yeah. It's not like the old days, but hey,
Like a meal in the locker room, am I wrong?
I've heard the same kind of things.
I could
That
really
would've been
use
nice.
a
That would've
meal in
been-
the locker room.
Oh, that's
that would have been real nice.
Instead, your thank you cash was like, what? Tell me if I'm wrong, like 50 grand, but like traceable, like taxed, like.
It was something just like that.
So
But it was a great opportunity.
for
and
sure.
I opened a lot of people's eyes, I think, and that put me in the spot to fight Kevin Lee now. Win over him will put me right back in that mix of people talking, looking towards the title shot. So it's all working out. It's working out well.
Oh yeah, I've been telling people for years, if Al had those fights, like if you put in Al in there with Tony Ferguson or put him in there with Khabib, it would be competitive. It'd be, if not Al knocking them out.
Hang on, I think Al because I've sparred both Al and I've sparred Ferguson. I was taking Ferguson down at will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people always undersold Al, and I would always be like,
Al,
no.
you have to string 2-3 shots together, and then if you do take him down, you're getting omoplated or like armbarred or triangle. It's like, dude, stop.
Oh yeah.
Can I have 1 second of this where I feel like I'm like
Well,
in
that's,
control?
I always knew from
I
where
appreciate that.
I always knew from where Al came from that he had good jiu-jitsu, and then even that Kevin Lee fight was one of the first fights where I was like, whoa, he's got some fucking tricky shit. Like, he was going for leg locks, he was like scrambling, he was going inverted and avoiding getting hit. He was doing some fancy shit in that fight.
One of my very first time sparring you, Al, you punched me with a 2 and then came around with your back foot and kicked me down. I'm like, how the fuck did I just get hit twice from the same side? I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
I gotta find it. I was looking somewhere. I was looking through some old emails or something, and I found sparring sessions from me and you before we were in the UFC.
Let me get that.
And I was like, I gotta send this to Dennis, but I was right in the middle of something, so I'm gonna send that to you. I gotta find it.
Yes.
I gotta find it. But it was funny to watch. We're both so raw and just swinging away. The wrestling's still there, but the boxing and the kickboxing, we were just winging them. It was funny.
In that small cage at Belmore, kickboxing.
Yep. That's exactly where it was.
Yeah. Little sparring session in a phone booth.
Good ones. Yep. With the pole in the middle.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Now, Al, since I've reached out to you, right? This is your first time hearing about Menace and the Man, right? Our show.
I had heard you've been doing it. You just kind of just started it, right?
Yeah. Well, we talk about you all the time. Like when we were talking to Matt Frola, you came on. I was like, dude, tell me something crazy that happened at Frola Fest, Beach Fest. He's like, well, Raging Al came. And he took a case of beer.
Tried to row a boat to
And
Connecticut.
rowed a boat out to where we couldn't see him anymore. And we had to go take a jet ski out to pick him up.
They didn't have to. I was fine. They got scared. I was just rowing. I don't know. I was having fun. There was an island, and it looked a lot closer than it was.
Right.
So I started paddling, and then before long, I was still paddling, and it was
still far away.
I thought I would have been there like an hour ago, and it's still. I'm like halfway there now. I think probably it's not even. And then they came on. They came the Frivola Fest. You got to come next year.
Oh, I was
definitely
gonna say, the next Fred
That
Fest is
guy
going to be lit.
throws
We're going to do a
a
live
party.
episode of Medicine the
Yeah,
Man at the
you
next
got-
Fred Fest.
Absolutely, you got to, because that is he. He was like, yeah, we do this Frivola Fest, the party. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll come by. I get there. They got a tent. They got a DJ. It's on the water. They're taking jet skis out. There's boats. There's
It's a shit
beer
show.
pong. It's a shit show. It was in the beginning. It's a little calm, but when the sun goes down, that place turns into a madhouse. It was great. It was
Raging
awesome.
Al's kind of scene, right?
What's that? Definitely my scene, 100%. That was fun. That was good, for sure.
So now, how is it leading up to the fights? No partying for you. Like, how many weeks out? When do you cut it back?
Usually like this fight was like 8 weeks. I think I pretty much, cut it out.
2 months is my number.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. I went down to Atlantic City. The Ring of Combat was this Friday night. I had to get the hell out of there. I left right after the fight. I didn't even want to stick around and, because you go out, you have one beer,
Right. Yep.
and you had one, so you have two, then you get a buzz on, and
Yeah.
you might as well just keep it going. So
No,
I
you
just-
start bartering with yourself like, tomorrow I'll just run. I'll run
No,
further.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It never works. I have to just. I'm
Yeah.
like all or nothing. I have to just cut it all the way out and just,
Yeah.
get bed early, wake up early, training. I shut it down.
Oh,
That's
and
it.
you feel so good when you're doing those
So-
things, right? And then
so
you're
good. The first time you get drunk, it's like, what the fuck? You drink like two beers and you wake up the next day.
I'm
with
never
a
gonna
panic.
drink again. And then,
Yep.
hey, Fred Fest is this weekend. Like, fuck.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
what do we got for this one? December 15th or 14th? What is it? 15th, right?
December 15th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's they got a new arena there, the Pfizer Arena in Milwaukee. It's pretty cool. Main event, 5 rounds. I'm really looking forward to this. Kevin Lee, we fought 4 years ago, and since then he moved to. He came in the UFC thinking he was going to be, run through everybody, and I remember the look on the face after I beat him when they were raising my hand, and it was just kind of like a wake-up call. He was in there. He knew he was in there with something different that he had never felt that before, and he made the adjustment. He moved to Las Vegas. He changed his team, changed everything up. So he's definitely all in on this fight game. He's bigger, he's stronger, and he's faster than he was before. But I think I'm just still too skilled for him. He's got some good wrestling. He's got long arms, and he pushes guys up against the cage, locks his hands behind their butt, and gets a takedown there. Most of his takedowns, anyway. But I think I could do a great job of stuffing his takedowns, getting my own takedowns, and then I think the stand up is where I'll really start to pull away in the fight.
Oh yeah, he's gotten better, but you pieced him up in that first fight.
Is he talking a little shit this fight?
Kevin Lee is talking some shit, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We were both kind of jabbing at each other for really the last 4 years. After I beat him, he wanted a rematch, and then I kind of took my break. I was out for 2 years. I had the knee surgery.
Right.
He won a few fights. He got up ranked ahead of me, and he kind of stopped talking. He stopped talking about me. And then with this last fight, it put me back up there. I think the timing's perfect. For the both of us, it's a good fight. It's a rivalry. It's got all the makings of a really good fight. I'm prepared for 5 rounds of absolute hell and brutal war, but I'm hoping that I get in and out quick and painless.
And then you've been to you've been to the arena for press and stuff like that already?
Yeah, I was out there about a month ago. I was out there about a month ago. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool.
Did they bring him out as well?
No, actually, well, he was there too, but they didn't have us do anything together. They didn't have us do any like stare downs or anything. We were just going around on the local news broadcasts,
Right.
which was pretty interesting. Some of them had no idea. It was a really broad range of people that I was talking to, from news anchors that have no idea about the sport. I'm explaining to them. She's looking at me like I'm a lunatic savage, and I have to kind of explain what the sport is to her. And then some of the newscast, some of the news people, they were actually big fans of the sport and myself. So it was a good time. Kevin Lee said he asked if we could do some of the interviews together, but they wouldn't let us. I didn't really care. I think that would have been interesting, but I don't know what the hell he would have said or done. I don't know, but yeah, they kept us separate, and we just did our local media stuff and in and out. We flew in that day, flew home the same day, and that was about it.
Kevin, a lot of Al. A lot of the people I know that train with Kevin, they talk about his wrestling and his top control, and you did a fantastic job hand fighting against Khabib, and were able to work your way out many times, and really impressively. That's got to give you some confidence going into this fight, knowing that you were able to hand fight and work your way out of bad positions against the best top control in the world. And coming into this fight with Kevin Lee, that needs to feel good to have that in your back pocket.
Yeah, Kevin's got a little different top game than Khabib did or does. I think my leg work, I have some pretty cool stuff that if we get in that position, hopefully it doesn't get there, but if it does, I'll have some pretty cool stuff to go get after him with. In the first fight, I went for I didn't even know like X guard and stuff like that at the time, but now I'm pretty savvy with it. So I'm not looking forward to being on the bottom, but if I am on the bottom, I got some stuff that I'm looking forward to.
Well, you're Sarah trained.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we got some really crazy. Jason Rao.
Oh my gosh, we were talking about him last
week.
week.
Yeah, we were talking about Jason last week.
I roll with him, and we go leg locks and stuff. His leg locks are just incredible, and I've been learning a lot of stuff from him. So I'm looking forward to it. I think a few years ago I was really going for stuff and having some success, definitely in training with the leg locks and stuff, the X guard, stuff like that. But I think I've really gotten to another level with it now, and I'm looking forward to using it.
One of my favorite Iaquinta stories is how he knocked out Diego Sanchez only swimming and like shadowboxing for a fight camp. Am I wrong there?
That was that was pretty rough, man. My knee was pretty banged up, and
crazy.
I signed up for the fight, and I started off. Me and Eric Heyer went to Eisenhower Park, and I was trying to hit pads in the pool because my knee was just killing me so bad. And they wouldn't let us hit pads in the pool. They were like, "Oh, maybe we're getting scared." They were getting scared of us, so they kicked us out. But I ended up I was swimming like 3 5-minute rounds as hard as I could. Just totally exhausting myself every day.
This is no joke. Swimming's a motherfucker,
Swimming's
man.
crazy.
Especially if you don't swim all the time.
It's the best workout. And then I was going to Staten Island, the sports science lab out there, and I was able to do some stuff with like the fit lights where you're punching at the lights. I posted on Instagram some of the stuff that we did out there. So I was basically doing that, swimming, and then just doing circuits around my knee, doing a lot of core stuff. So I mean, I was training. And I figure I kind of already know how to fight, so just get in shape and go in there, swing them. And I was very fortunate the way it turned out. I was able to clip him in the beginning of the first round, and it was like the most relieving fight because I hadn't
tested.
It was like it was one day where I play sparred for like a half an hour, and the next day my knee blew up again. So it took a couple days for me to even be able to get back in. You know, it was like hurting when I was walking. So
Yeah.
it was, it was definitely stressful not having the sparring to that confidence of that last. You know, when you get that
For your
last sparring
timing
session.
and yeah.
Yeah, you get that last your cardio. You know, you pushed a hard pace for 3 rounds, and you just know you have
You're
the
ready.
cardio to last. I was kind of unsure, so I wanted to definitely get out of there as soon as possible, and it was very fortunate that it did.
Oh yeah, you slayed Diego.
What?
Diego
Yeah.
dropped like a
Yeah.
ton of
Well,
bricks.
I actually lied. That's not my favorite Raging Al story.
Oh,
My favorite Raging Al story is after he knocked out Ross Pearson, went on Instagram, was like, "What? No, no bonus? Boom! Break this. No bonus? Boom!"
oh,
And I saw that live,
that
and I was like, "Dude, what's this guy? He's definitely drunk. He's definitely pissed. This is not good."
Yeah.
And I went to show
I-
LaFlair the next day, like, "Dude, our boy's gonna be in trouble." And I went to show him, and it was gone.
yeah,
The UFC reached
I
out to
del-
was like, dude, take it down
yeah,
now.
they were like immediately delete that right now.
It was gold.
I was actually after the Lazone fight.
Yes. Well, I mean, you got robbed two fights of a
A
bonus.
few bonuses.
I kind of think, that one and those two, I should have got something, but it was they found a way to give it to someone else. I mean, I feel like you beat Joe Lazone at that point in his career and my
Right.
career. It was a big win for me, and he was like the bonus king at that point. Every fight, he was winning a bonus, and they gave it to Tim Bosch and someone else, and Thales Leites got fight of the night, and Thales Leites got knockout of the night. And I was like, that fight was so sloppy. Tim Bosch was like just winging. I don't know. I just felt like I put on such a
Well, yeah.
clean technical performance.
Yeah.
It just shows what they're looking for,
Well,
you know?
Lazone doesn't get his head bobbled like that. You know what I mean? Like, usually
Yeah.
he gets in bad shape and he's a tough dude and he, like, finds a way to survive. But you just, like, he couldn't even stand up. It was like, damn. That's.
Yeah, no,
I've
I
never
was-
seen that dude like that. I've seen him bloodied up and he keeps fighting.
Yeah.
But I've never seen him, like, stanky, like, in knee after knee, step after step, like that.
Bro,
Yeah,
hopefully
I-
it comes to fruition in the future. But I've always argued with people, if Al didn't have those disputes with the UFC and missed that, year and a half, 2 years he missed and would have got those fights, he'd be 1 or 2 in the world. If not, the champion, Give him Khabib with a training camp in 5 rounds,
Yeah.
He, like, the theory of Conor was if he's on the feet, he could land that strike. I think Al could do enough on the ground to be on the feet to land that strike,
Right. Right, with proper game plan, yeah.
More threats. For sure.
Yeah, no, I'm there now. I think the UFC and I are way better. Have an open line of communication. Hunter Campbell and Sean Shelby, we talk pretty regularly, and they're looking out for me. So I'm definitely looking to stay active, stay in there, and I got a taste of that title. Like I just feel like I can't. What my highest accomplishment is that I kind of fought for the title. It was like I didn't even really fight for the title because I don't know, was it for the title? It was kind of yes, kind of no.
Right, that was a weird
So-
one where if you won, you didn't get the title,
Well,
but if he won, he did, right?
Didn't UFC say
They
they
were-
weighed his underwear and they would honor you as the champion, I think they said.
Yeah, they said that I was going to be considered the champion, but I wouldn't have the belt. So I don't know. I can't say that can't be my highest accomplishment. I got to get that title shot and I got to get that belt. So I'm working towards it. Kevin Lee's the first step.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
winner of
this
this fight's definitely in a spot where possibly he's fighting for that next championship opportunity, depending on what happens with Tony Ferguson, because he's another guy in limbo right now as well. The 155 is still a little chaotic, especially with the 229 melee.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think they have their court date on. It's like a couple days before my fight, so that should kind of clear up everything a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Ferguson's right in there. Khabib, has been talking to his manager. His manager's been talking about boxing, Mayweather, fighting GSP.
Right, they're all over the place. He's got like 5 different opponents, right? Like we could go over here.
Just trying to cash out.
yeah.
I think he's got it. They got to try to make that Ferguson fight happen one more time.
They have to.
It was so not like funny. I guess ironic seeing the last fight, Ferguson weighed in and Khabib weighed in. They both made weight, but they weren't fighting each other. He was fighting McGregor, and the other guy was fighting Pettis. It was like you can't get them when they're fighting each other, but when they're fighting other people, now they're on weight and healthy and everything. It was pretty ironic.
That was the craziest shit. That Tony Ferguson tripped over a wire and blew his knee out. That shit's insane. That caused so much chaos.
Crazy. That whole event just was insane. That whole weekend was nuts. McGregor wrecking the bus, and then Holloway not making weight, or not being able to.
Even that was one of those things I said. I was like, if those guys would have got that bus to come off, I was like, Raging Al's on that bus, Khabib. That's a bunch of fucking random Irish guys. Do they all know how to fight? You know what I mean? That would have been an interesting scrap had the bus actually got off. You know?
Yeah. Got off. If they just stopped the bus and everyone got off, yeah, that would have been crazy. That would have been interesting because there was a lot of fighters on that bus.
Yeah, like who did Conor have with him? He had like Charlie Ward and like 2 other fighters. Like what the fuck were they gonna do?
He definitely had to be on drugs or drunk, right?
Oh,
they had to. I've been saying to everyone, I wish I was on that plane coming over here because those guys were partying.
Oh yeah.
Mike.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, 1 second. Oh shit.
Yeah.
What'd you just do there?
That's why I can't be in charge of these things. Hey, Mike, I'll call you right back.
All right, buddy.
All right. Dude, what just happened, Al?
I don't know, man.
You hang up on me, dude?
I didn't. It just beeped and it turned off. I don't know what happened.
You definitely are.
I thought you hung up on me. Are we still on?
Oh yeah, we're still on. We're still live.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't let Dennis fuck shit up. This is what happens when I put Dennis in charge to book interviews and stuff. He books everyone at the same time.
What are you talking
and then
about?
There's all this chaos
Hang
going
on. He brought me on like, hey Dennis, let's do this podcast. Like, you're gonna be the talent. I'm gonna get everyone. You're gonna be the talent. Next thing you know, I'm the one wheeling and dealing. Hey,
I told you how it works. We both get guys, and then you're the one who's like, I'll get them, and then you get them all for the same time. You just gotta spread out the time.
Fuck off, Stan. Sick of your shit.
That's actually my fault. I fucked that up. I appreciate you switching it up for me, though. I appreciate it.
That's why we're best friends, dude.
Oh yeah, Raging Al's the man. Before we let you go, Al, I also had to shout out. Like I know you train now with Sarah, but you originally started with one of my old friends. You started with Ricky Baraney, right?
Ricky Baraney, that guy's the best.
You know Ricky as well, right?
Oh yeah, he's the man. Me and him took a trip down to, where the hell did we go? Cincinnati, Ohio, and we both fought the same night. I mean, I could try to explain Ricky Baraney.
Ricky's gonna come on our show. He'll get his deal.
We need
He's
him on.
alive?
It would take all day to try to describe that guy, and I still wouldn't do it justice. That's one of the craziest people I've ever met.
Hang on. Maybe
you're on the good side of him.
Yes, maybe after your win, we have you guys both in studio.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, you know what it is? I've known Ricky since I was a kid, and he has a brother named Stanley, and his dad's name is Stanley, so he always remembered me. And then I'm Baroni's cousin, so he always knew who I was. He always looked out for me. Like Ricky's beat people up for me when I was a teenager, you know? Like, yo, Ricky, that guy's fucking with me. Iced. Done. Ricky would just fucking ragdoll him. Is this good? Is this good? And then let them go. And I'd be like, good, Ricky. You did good, bro.
He's great. But yeah, we traveled a bunch together, fought in a bunch of amateur fights at the same time. That was some good times. He was like he was one of the first guys that really taught me jiu-jitsu and stuff. And he's just got some strongman, brutal, painful jiu-jitsu. There's nothing smooth and flowy about his jiu-jitsu.
Eric, how do you know Brainy?
Training with Space Monkey.
Yeah, the same way I know Eric back in the day. Ricky being the big maniac in the room who would just hurt people. So yeah, Al, before we let you go, I have many funny Ricky stories. One time training with him, he was the first person who showed me like, oh, when someone goes for a leg lock, they're vulnerable for a leg lock too. But how that happened was me and him were going live, and he like kind of was fishing for a leg lock, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go for a leg lock on him. I went for a leg lock on him. He kicked me in the face, and then leg locked me, and then got up and was like, that's how you do it, kid. When someone goes to leg lock you, you leg lock them. And I was like, what about the kick in the face? And he was like, oh yeah, my bad, bro, my bad.
That's great. Yep, that sounds about like Rick.
Oh yeah, I've
That's
seen Ricky
awesome.
snap limbs, maniac. But skilled
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu, he's tapped out some really good guys, and he's one of the guys who
absolutely.
I know helped start Al Iaquinta. That's why when I always watch Al fight, I'm like, I know Al's a savage. I know he'll fight till the death for a submission. You know, he doesn't have that quit in him at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, Rick definitely instilled that in me, and he's. I'm talking about him like he is one of the best. If you're on his good side, there's no one better to know, and if you're on his bad side, that's probably not a good thing.
Oh yeah,
He's
and
awesome.
even that tutelage, like me growing up on Long Island, if I know someone trained with Bahraini and then trained with Sarah, I'm like, fuck that guy. I don't want to fuck with that guy. You know, he's got some fucking.
Yeah,
He's a beast.
you know,
Yeah, LaFleur says like Greg will mess with Greg DiPasquale at Long Island MMA will mess with Ryan and be like, who wins the fight, you or Phil Brody? He's like, dude, I would never fight that guy because if I beat him up, he would come to my house and kill me.
Yeah, it's gonna get
Like
serious.
right?
it's going like if I beat him up, he's going to get the last hand and kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
what are you
crazy.
going to do now, Al? You going to work out with Longo?
Yeah, going to hit some pads with Ray. Got do like 5 minute rounds of pad work. We do like a little bit of ground and pound dummy back up and down from pads to the ground and pound, and that's the workout for tonight.
How are the amateurs coming along over at Sarah Longo's?
Oh, there's a lot of upcoming talent. We have a bunch of guys around 155, 145 that are they just they get into the point where they're going to make the jump to pro. Bunch of amateur titles in the ring combat amateurs, and now moving up to the pros. So we got a good stable of guys, a lot of great bodies for me to work with. Got good guys that are hungry. They come after me and they keep me on my toes. So I never have a day where these guys are coming after me. It's good.
Oh yeah, with those coaches over there, they're eventually, it's just going to keep happening. Every new cycle is going to roll in every few years of guys that are just fucking killers. So yeah, Al,
Yeah, it's crazy.
you got
It's
any
crazy. It's awesome.
amateurs? Throw them my way. I help book some amateur events. We got an event coming up in March. I would love to get some of the Cerro Longo team on that one, the New York Fight Exchange. So keep in touch,
Absolutely, 100%,
and then
100%.
we'll get Raging Al in there as a VIP. Hopefully, you don't got a
Oh
fight
yeah,
booked, then we'll let everybody, meet the man.
nice. Hell yeah, sounds like a plan, bro.
Woo!
I'm in.
And like I said, we'll be live at FrevFest, so we'll have Raging Al on for that thing when that thing pops up.
Yes, that will be good.
That shit's gonna be
That will
fire.
be great.
Uh,
I'm gonna book my fights around Frivola Fest. I'm gonna try to be fighting like a month before,
yeah.
so I don't have anything coming up. I can
And
have
we'll
some
we'll
fun.
put videos of us on Instagram breaking shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's wreck that.
UFC can't do shit to those videos.
Hell yeah.
All right, so have a good training session, Al. Thank you again for joining us. We'll hopefully get you on again after the fight, and we'll shoot more shit.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys. You have a good night.
All right, take it easy, Al.
Peace.